second down, Lacey. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. The starting 11 defensively for the Bears.
Kyle Fuller is one of those new breed, complete defensive backs. Eager to tackle, but a better cover man.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
Let's go.
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down. Okay, look at this. The punt team nowhere to be found. They're on the sidelines. Offense going to go for this on the opening drive. Throwing, Bridgewater. And right with it here over the middle. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
And give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And he showed some fancy footwork on the juke, but then quickly taken down. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. 2nd down, Bridgewater. Complete to right. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
He was looking for Jarius Wright that time, and it's 4th and 4.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Now, this will be the 9th play on this drive.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field.
It was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to.
It was a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. Coach hinted to us, and we may see some old power football here in this game. We got a taste of it on that 1st down run.
I love how he handed it to us, and then when we were watching practice, we were watching what they call inside drill with the offensive and defensive line.
And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Eddie Lacy with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts the defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
So we back here with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. We've had the kickoff to begin the 1st quarter. Now it's time for the 2nd quarter kickoff, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now Cutler on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. A first-time Pro Bowler a year ago, Everson Griffin, in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman.
Under pressure, they got him again. The 10th-year linebacker, Chad Greenway, in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays.
Well, it's apparent that these guys are getting after it right from the opening kickoff. They roll right downfield and score on their first possession. And here on defense, back-to-back sacks. Someone is ready to play.
Looking for Jeffrey, and it's intercepted. Terrence Newman with a pick. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, Brandon, there's no question who they're going to look to on 3rd and long, but you can bet this defense knows that as well, so they've got him blanketed downfield. And this ball winds up being intercepted.
And now out comes Minnesota. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They run it again with Lacey. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front? Creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility.
Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the 2nd quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And taken right on the 30. Look at the spin. Balance. An excellent return that time. 26 yards. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
On 2nd down, Bridgewater again. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. 1:59 to go in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Wright's got it, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. Bridgewater again. And it's incomplete.
That's just flat out a terrific play because it's rare that you see a hitch route batted down. That means someone read that one really well and was right on the spot when the ball got to the receiver.
One back is Lacey. Bridgewater on 3rd and 2. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Here's Bridgewater. That's complete right around the 8. And he had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. 6 plays got him down here. This is play number 7, 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal for Bridgewater.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So the drive takes him inside the 10, but it ends with just 3.
And a nice job defensively to rise up and make sure they didn't get in.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now Cutler to throw on 2nd down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll run it now out of the gun. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded at about the 28. So we have reached halftime with our... Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the 3rd quarter now. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25. Call it the 26-yard line. Our player's spotlight here hones in on Jay Cutler. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally.
Yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And to the left side here, Wilson. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But Receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
And caught up to him. They'll try to get the offense going with Lacy. And he's eaten up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Eddie Lacy, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Vikings capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Well, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goal post.
That's right.
Before you drop the ball.
That.
There you go.
And so we have the touchdown. Now here's Blair Walsh to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On second down, Cutler. Now Cutler in trouble. He lost the football. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want. Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
Again, it's Lacy. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if, while the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
throwing the made field goal. Lutz to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now the Bears offense ready to take over again. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. On second down, here's Cutler. And this is complete to Zach Miller. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. Here's Cutler. Wilson snags it left side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. So here we go, a 3rd down after the 2nd down pass completion. So here we go now, an extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. They go play action now. Cutler. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Chad Greenway in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. That's pulled in at the 32. Oh, he slipped right by him. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Johnson with a completion over the middle. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. Bridgewater now. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And certainly some style points there on the spin. Not a whole lot thereafter, but still a pretty good game.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup with someone trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Bridgewater. Johnson's got it complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. One back is Lacey. The play clock's running down. Bridgewater again. That's caught at the 2. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's polished off by a Viking score. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Another carry now for Rodgers. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Cutler. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They've really been able to contain Alshon Jeffrey. That catch a rare exception in this game.
And that's a feather in their cap because he's such a tone setter for his team on offense that they try and get him the ball early. And, of course, what comes after that is often. And for them to limit him and him not catch a ball until the second half, it's a big reason why his team is behind on the scoreboard.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
I can't help it. I'm just sitting back in admiration right now. This defense tells everyone that plays against them, you're not beating us running the football. That's who we are. That's what we're about. It's not going to happen. If you're going to beat us, you better pick another way.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. And the Vikings with an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd.
Playing coverage here.
Throwing here, Cutler. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Pulled in at the 24. 31 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Viking football here as they take possession. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They have the big cushion. Here in the final stages of this one, I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel, No one's going to be with you once you get to the stadium. They're all going to be against you. You name it, all those things they had to deal with, they were able to conquer them and do it convincingly.
Yeah, they did it very convincingly, and now the final moments of this one. Here's Bridgewater. Stiff-armed him. Now, the stiff arm created some space initially, but he's taken down not long after. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll lead here to a third down. On third down, Bridgewater. And the catch made by Johnson. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Now Blair Walsh on for a long field goal. He's hit from as far away as 56 in his young career. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
One last shot for Cutler. And this is dropped and incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone. This time.